Angry guy here, and black and white women are afraid that men no longer want them. Black and white women are afraid that men no longer want them. We're going to jump into this immediately. This actually comes over from the Celebrity Junk. And it's no surprise that these women are, beginning to get afraid because look at the behavior of women in America.
2 days ago, the Philip Scott Show released a very good video called Modern Woman Says Men Have Created a Dating Crisis by Refusing to Date American Women. And the video he's reviewing comes from this lady, Jen Larson's Official. Let's go ahead and play Phil's video and then we'll come back.
So there's a lot of men that has been checking out of the dating process. They have said, I have enough of these modern women in America. We sick of it. There's no reason to invest in these women whatsoever. I want you to check out this video we're going to review because, boy, even with statistics, it's getting worse for these modern women.
I have been so hesitant to post about this for two reasons. Number one, I don't like negativity and I don't want to be like the bearer of bad news. Number two, I didn't want to believe it. But after doing so much research and getting a lot of messages, I'm going to just deliver the unvarnished truth to you guys. I'm just going to lay it out straight. We're in a dating crisis. Not basically, we are. That's what's happening. So let me look at my research here because I don't want to mess it up. So men looking for casual dates and our relationships is down 50%. 50.
Okay, so she's saying that a lot of you men, you said you have checked out the process. You've checked out. Now, what she's not talking about is a lot of you men that flew out of here too. So you're not even on the dating scene because you're overseas trying to find you a wife over there.
Guys, what's really unbelievable is the fact that a lot of mainstream media don't want to acknowledge the passport bros. They don't want to acknowledge men walking away from society. But the irony is that this is really happening. Men are really checking out of society, completely dropping out. And the men that are marrying, the men that are having children are outright leaving the country and they're not coming back. They're taking their wealth, they're taking the resources, and they're leaving. And then the women who are noticing this, they're attacking these men. They're shaming them on social media. They're trying to tell them that they're going to they're going to be unalive if they go to these countries. They're calling them broke boys. They're saying, "Oh, only broke boys are going over there." So if they're broke boys, then why are they going? And not only have they done this, but they have literally attacked the women in these other countries, saying that these women cannot speak English, that these women are uneducated, that these women are poor. I mean, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And then a lot of these women have to clap back and say, listen, I have my bachelor's degree. We speak, everyone here, like 92% of the Philippines speak English. It's one of the official languages. Women from Thailand are clapping back like, we speak English here. Like it's frightening. It is absolutely frightening. It's absolutely sad. But that's what society has come down to. So it's no wonder that modern day men are completely dropping out. And I said this, guys. I said that right now it's a trend, and trends become normalities, and normalities become traditions. And where we're headed right now is that in 10 years or less, you're going to have young men who they want a wife, and now it's a tradition. It's a tradition to go overseas and to find yourself a wife overseas. So you have a guy who's 17 years old, and he's like, he's entering into manhood, and he starts thinking about, he wants to find a nice girl. And the idea of finding a girlfriend in America is like, no. I mean, like, this is literally the path, the direction we're heading in, where you have like a 13-year-old boy, and the 13-year-old boy is no longer looking at the girls in his class as viable mates. All right, he's imagining the pretty girl in Eastern Europe, the pretty girl in Romania, the pretty girl in Slovenia. Okay, he's messaging her on whatever application they're using at that time, and she's telling him about her day, and she's so feminine. And literally, the 13-year-old boy. This is where we're headed. We are headed to a place where 13-year-old boys will be connecting with 13-year-old girls in Eastern European countries. All right? I've said it. I have said it. I have called it, and people don't believe it. All right. And then summer vacation comes, and then you're going to have these kids. Summer vacation comes up in high school, and you know where they're going? They're going to go visit their foreign girlfriends. They're going to go and visit their foreign girlfriends. That's exactly where it's headed. All right. And it's going to become a standard thing in society with these men just walking away and saying, nope, enough is enough. We're done. We're not coming back. And women did this to themselves.
So now it's down 50%. Some men to say, I'm not even trying to fool these women. You know why they don't have to date you? Because a lot of them is just too easy to get. They'll lay down with you the first day. And listen, as a man get his rocks off or whatever, then that's all he.
This guy is right, but he's also wrong. A lot of men are not getting their rocks off. A lot of men are not having any. 1/3 of men haven't been with a woman in over a year. What's actually happening is a lot of good guys, they're being left out completely. And these women are basically turning 30, 35, and they're saying, okay, now we're going to go and find a man. And, you know, we'll give it up once or twice every year, but he has to marry us for it. This is after she's been with hundreds of men.
Let me tell you something. The dating process will go down to 100% checked out if tricking was legal in the U.S. If they made tricking legal, because notice they're making everything else legal, but they ain't making that legal. If they made that legal, none of them men would date y'all. What for? Because they can just go buy what they want to buy, get their little rocks off, and that's the end of it. They wouldn't, man. Boy, I'm telling you, you better hope they don't ever make that legal in the United States.
Since 2019, not since 1970, since 2019, right?
And that's a short time ago, 2019, just a few years ago.
Right before the pandemic, down 50%. They're not looking, which means if you're a woman looking, they don't give a shit. So as this trend continues, by 2040, 45% of women.
Wrong. By 2030, I don't know where she found that. It's by 2030, 45% of women will be childless and single. All right. You see, guys, these women are incomplete. These women are lost. They seem to realize that the men have checked out and they're not coming back.
Particular channel here.
Why is it that 66% of young men between the ages of 18 and 29 are currently single, but only 34% of young women in the same age bracket are single? Pew Research Center put out this very interesting piece of research recently that talked about the historic rise in unpartnered Americans. And what they found was interesting, and it sort of left them with a lot of question marks, but some proposed answers as to why this is happening.
I saw this research, and they immediately began saying, oh, well, these young women must be dating older men, right? It's because all these young women are dating older men. That's absolute BS. That's absolute BS. They don't want to admit what's actually happening, guys. They don't want to admit that all these women are dating the exact same men. They don't want to admit that what we're witnessing are polyamorous relationships where you have one man dating multiple women.
But one of the things that was very fascinating is that young men are twice as likely to be single than young women, right? 66% of young men are single and not dating and unpartnered, but only 34% of young women are single and not partnered. So what's happening? Where's the discrepancy going? The reality in what they've started to find is that young women are just dating older, right? They're just dating men.
Guys, that only explains a part of it. These women are dating the same damn men. All right? They are involved in polyamorous relationships. More women than ever are involved in polyamorous relationships, and they are dating the exact same men, and no one wants to admit to it. And by the way, guys, if you're enjoying these videos, go ahead and subscribe. If you already haven't subscribed, turn on notifications to never miss another video again, and hit the like button to tell YouTube that you want to see more videos from Angry Guy because you like my content. And when you hit the button, it'll result in YouTube recommending even more videos for my channel, and it'll be awesome. And if you want to show some love, guys, you can drop some cash via Cash App, or you can just click on the little button on the screen and drop me a tip that way. Yeah, but let's turn back into this.
And that are in their early 30s, that maybe are more financially stable or more mature. Maybe they're more stable in their career, right? They've finished their degrees. They've started paying off their student loans. They've got, a mortgage or, a car or whatever the case is. And to a lot of women, that is very appealing and attractive, right? A lot of the studies have shown that on average, women still want men who are making as much of them, if not more. And the emphasis there is on the if not more. The average woman in the dating market today, between ages 18 and 29 or above, are still wanting men who are able to acquire more resources than them.
She ain't nothing but a cause she ain't messing with no She ain't nothing but a cause she ain't messing with no Remember that song? She take my money when I'm in need. It's your trifling friend indeed. She a gold digger. Well, time. This day's on the Take my money when I'm in need. Our voice is terrible. I was trying to hit my best Jamie Foxx. Guys, that was Gold Digger. That was Gold Digger. For those of you that don't know that song from Kanye West, that was Gold Digger. All right? These women are gold diggers. They're gold diggers. All right? And then they talk so much smack about these Filipinas. Like, they just want you for your money. What do you want us for? You're looking for Plan B guys after you were out there running around with Chad and Tyrone, Pookie and Ray Ray. Now you wanna come in here and find a decent guy, the same guys that you were calling corny. Oh, that was just when you were in high school. You were just still growing up. Yeah, you're like, bitch, you told me that when I was in my 20s. All right? You called me you rejected me when I was 25 years old. And she's like, you know what? I was at a different place in my life at that time. I was still finding myself. Motherfucker. It's 20 years later. I'm almost 40 years old. And now you're trying to hit me up? Guys, don't mess with these women. Don't mess with them.
Who are able to out earn them. So the challenge that I think has happened is that, we can talk about social media and dating apps and all those things, but one of the biggest discrepancies that I think has started to emerge is that as women have become more and more financially independent, their mate or selection preferences haven't adapted or changed along with that financial independence. So the reality is that, women, even though they don't need a man, they don't need a man to pay for anything, there's still, in many cases, this underlying expectation or this underlying desire to have a man who out earns them. So as women are starting to make more and more money, right, 50, 60K, 100K, 200,000, $1 million, whatever it is, their expectation and what they want in a partner is that person still out earns them, that person is still somebody who is able to provide more than them in some capacity. And this, I think, is really impacting young men, because if you're a woman who comes out of college, you have a college degree, maybe you get a job right out of college, you're making 50, 60 grand or whatever it is, however much you're making out of college.
That comes from the Man Talks YouTube channel, and the video in question is, why are 66% of young men single? And I think this is a very good video. The reason why this is a very good video, because toward the end, he explains something that is awesome. You see, in the 60s and 70s, you saw more men being educated than women. Okay? So that made a lot more men more attractive. Now you have only 42% of men graduating college in comparison to, as he would say, 58% of women. So although you have more of your men into the blue collar fields and stuff like that, women, despite their particular successes in academia and the financial departments, they still want a man making more than them.
Guys, you cannot make these women happy, but they're getting their just desserts right now. All right, these black and white women are afraid now that the average man no longer wants them, and it serves them right. It serves them right, and it's not going to get. It's not going to get any better. It's only going to get worse, much worse, as more and more men walk away and say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm done with society. I'm done with relationships. I'm done with dating. And I'm checking out completely. I'm checking in. I'm checking out of the market entirely, and it's not. And it's not going to reverse itself. It really isn't going to reverse itself. I said this years ago that the pendulum swings. If right now it's far left. It's far left, and people didn't believe me. It's surprising that things even got worse. But every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and the further left it goes, you have to understand momentum. The worse it's going to be when it swings the other direction. Or when it swings the other direction, it's going to swing far right, and it's going to take a while to get there. It's not going to get there tomorrow. It's not going to take a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years. It took us decades and decades to get here. So it's going to take us. It's going to be decades and decades of suffering for modern women, for suffering for women in society. Okay, men have suffered for decades. It took decades to get here. It's going to be decades of this. It won't just resolve itself overnight. People have said that finishing schools may become a thing, and I truly believe it's going to become a thing. Like right now, Just Pearly thinks she's acting like she's just playing with this thing, and she's really not. It's going to become a very big thing. Finishing schools throughout the West are going to become a very big thing, where women are going to start attending these schools, trying to learn the things that they need to learn to attract a man, right? And they're going to be laws. There are going to be things put in place. They're going to have to there are going to be examinations eventually. There are going to be state boards. They're going to have to go and show that they can actually do these things and perform these tasks. They're going to be ranked on them. They're going to have transcripts. All right. Don't be surprised if this shit ends up in a university, at a university level, where you can go and earn a college degree based around this type of thing. I guess you already can. Hospitality. It's going to be serious. It's going to be serious. It's going to be big business. Really, really big business. And y'all are going to see a lot of these girls getting expelled from these finishing schools constantly. A lot of these girls are going to go to these finishing schools, and they're going to constantly get expelled from these schools, because they can't cut it. These girls are going to try to cheat. They're going to talk back to the professors. They're going to go on with a lot of bullshit, and it's not going to fly. Right? And if you get expelled from a finishing school, it's going to be very difficult to get into another school, because they're going to they're going to ask you right off the bat, have you ever been to another finishing school? And if you have, they're going to want your transcripts. And if they get those transcripts and they see that you were expelled for behavior, for behavior or just our grades, like, they're going to say, listen, we don't want you here. Okay, we can't tolerate this type of crap. And then they're gonna have to go look for these unaccredited programs, and it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a nightmare. And while all of this is happening, there's gonna be a lot of women who are gonna be out there struggling, trying to figure out what they're gonna do. And the most natural thing for a woman to do is to start hooking. You have a lot of women that are gonna turn around and start hooking. All right, you're gonna start hooking in the U.S. In the U.K., they already hook. All right, but it's gonna become even more rampant there. All right, you're gonna drive down some streets, you're just gonna see just a line of these women think they're going to a party. You don't realize, no, these girls are hooking. They're hooking. I mean, guys, they did it to themselves, and I don't feel sorry for them. Do you? I already know you don't. I already know you guys don't. Guys, you want to buy me a Red Bull? Red Bull, send me some Red. Guys, send me some Red Bull. I need some. You know what's messed up? I think it was messed up in the comments. Somebody said, "No Red Bull for you, no Red Bull for you, bro. Like, we want you here, And Red Bull is a good. Listen. A Red Bull a day, keeps angry okay. I didn't say the doctor, or I didn't say a Red Bull a day keeps angry okay. All right, the name is Angry Guy. It's in the name, Angry Guy. Okay, what do you think? Come on, all right. If you guys want to contribute to the Red Bull Fund, you can send me some cash via Cash App, or you can drop me a tip on the channel. All right. And the messed up thing is, I will actually use this money to purchase Red Bull and other stimulants. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and cheers.